Welcome to the Rowdy Studio. I'm Stephen Levine. This is Tom Vandervoort. I feel like we should be enjoying a nice Pinot Noir or a Merlot or something to talk about this race.
9 in the morning, absolutely. We're going to Sonoma, first road course race of the year. The more technical of the two road courses.
Yeah, you have to hit your marks. You need to know a little bit more about what you're doing here than at Watkins Glen, just because there's not as much wiggle room.
Well, look, it's hilly. The turns are very, very tight, and I think the key here really is one very good passing zone, two realistic passing zones. Not that if someone doesn't mess up, you can't get by elsewhere.
And there's only 110 laps or so you've got 220 opportunities to pass.
Right, and now compare that to, say, a Martinsville.
I did that math in my head.
You did? That was good. If you compare it to Martinsville, two ends of that racetrack, 500 laps, that's 1,000 chances to pass. So 220 versus 1,000. Now you know why track position is so important. And look, if a guy gets to, say, turn 11, that hairpin turn at the end of the course, and you're faster than he is, he's still going to try to protect the bottom, go into the corner a little bit lower so that you can't stick your nose underneath him, and you may have to get aggressive. And it's tough. You ride behind a guy that you're faster than for a whole lap, and then you get to this one place, and if you don't hit your mark, you don't get the advantage on him, you got to wait all the way around the course again before you get another chance.
Which is one of the reasons we've seen tempers flaring at these road courses so much lately. There's been a lot of action at the two road courses.
People are willing to get aggressive.
Right, and as you already alluded to, people block a little bit more aggressively.
Right.
Now, the other thing, of course, that's key at a road course is pit strategy. Now, there have been a couple of cases lately. Kyle Busch and Juan Pablo Montoya, they both won from starting positions pretty way back.
Yep.
But as you said, track position is more preferable here. But if you find yourself mired in the back, you want to try to pit as early as you can anyway. You want to try to be the first guy to go in for your final pit stop at a road course.
And the question is, how do you get there? Because you will have some cautions. When do you come in? If you start in the back, do you want to come in early? If there's an early caution, you want to come in early, get off sequence with the leaders, and then maybe you just don't know. And I think that's what you're going to have to do if you start in the back, is take some chances on pit road early to see if you can position yourself for the final stop. You have to think that on a normal racetrack, on most racetracks, if you pit under green, you're going to go a lap down on most tracks. Not every track.
Maybe not Pocono, but
Pocono is a good example of one that you wouldn't necessarily. Here, you're not going to go down a lap. So you're going to stay on the lead lap. So if you come in under green and then the caution falls and everyone else comes in, you just stay out. You got your fresh tires, you got your fuel, and now you've got track position too. So that's why if you can stretch your mileage a little longer, you can come in actually a little earlier, right, for that final stop.
And the earlier the better. It's interesting because you talk about drivers to watch for, and the first guy everybody's going to mention is Marcos Ambrose, yet he's never won here. I mean, he should have when he gave that victory up to Jimmy Johnson. You remember what happened. He turned his engine off to save fuel he didn't need to save, and he couldn't get it restarted again. But Marcos Ambrose, if not the best road course racer in the world, is definitely the best road course racer in NASCAR, and that's saying a lot when you've got Jeff Gordon, who's won here 5 times, Tony Stewart,
Jimmy Johnson,
Juan Pablo Montoya.
And Jimmy Johnson's not normally a name you'd say, but he won this race.
Well, and so did Kyle Busch and Casey Kane. Also not guys you think of as road course
That's
guys.
the thing about it. You say this is the more technical of the two road courses, but we've had 7 different winners, I think, in the last 7 years. So you have to say that I think NASCAR drivers in general have become much better road course drivers, and this race is a reflection of that.
Here's a name for you. You know who has finished 4th here 3 times in 6 starts? Clint Bowyer.
Yeah.
And he's got an 8th to add to those 3 4th-place finishes. Clint Bowyer, pretty good here. And then there's guys like Robbie Gordon, who's going to be running this race.
Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart.
But I mean, like guys like Robbie Gordon, Barra said, I mean, people you think of as road course specialists.
Yeah, absolutely.
But generally, they don't necessarily have the equipment that's going to get them to victory lane.
Yeah.
So who's your pick?
I tell you, I really like, I keep picking him, Jeff Gordon. I keep picking Jeff Gordon because I'm just like, he's got to win sometime.
You're hopeful. You're hopeful that he can break through. I don't know if I'm hopeful. I
just think he's going to win. He's shown some decent speed the last few weeks. He's good on these road courses. I just feel it's his time.
You know, I've been thinking so strongly Marcos Ambrose. I haven't really considered anybody else.
A.J. Allmendinger's a guy we haven't mentioned.
Denny Hamlin's decent on road courses,
he is.
But I think I'll go with Tony Stewart. He was strong last weekend. He's such a good road course racer. He's going to be hungry after sort of being denied the win at Michigan. So I'll just go with Tony Stewart.
That's a good pick. What used to be, you'd go with Jeff Gordon or Tony Stewart. Those were the favorites. It's been a while since they seemed to trade off those road.
Right. I would say in some ways maybe Juan Pablo Montoya is even more of a favorite than Jeff Gordon or Tony Stewart, but neither of us picked him.
That's true. All right. For Stephen Levine, I'm Tom Vandervoort. We'll see you next time.